All right, what's up, you all? What's up, Jahan? I see you on here. Today's title is, by the way, he is Blanchard, aka Free Blanche, aka Blanche Radamas, aka B Diddy, but no Diddy. Anyway, I got a friend of mine call me B Diddy. It's different now. He can't call me Diddy in public anymore. But anyway, um, today's title is called Anti-White versus White Erasure. Anti-white versus white erasure. And I talk about the anti-white agenda and how the anti-white agenda is the anti-God agenda. Not because white people are God, but because when it comes to things that are godly, and when it comes to Christianity, and when it comes to the Bible, it's attached to white people. And so the greatest threat to this global enemy is the Christian conservative white person, the Anglo-Saxon Protestant, whatever you want to call it. That's the greatest threat to this global regime, and they know it. And this is why everything they're doing, when you think about it, is an attack on whiteness and what they perceive as whiteness. Now, really, they're attacking God. They're getting white people out of the way to it. So basically, they want to get to God, but they got to remove white people. And so the anti-white agenda is the anti-God agenda, but there's also what they call white erasure, where they want to, what you would say, erase white people. That's also a real thing. So, it's like stages, right? It's like you have a war against white people. And when I say white people, I'm not talking about white people with purple hair, white people with a bunch of pronouns, white people that like to virtue signal, woke white people, libtarded white people, Marxist white people, socialist white people, communist white people. Not them. I'm talking about the salt of America white people. And I'm pretty sure the salt of other countries as well, what we consider the quote unquote West. And again, I'm not saying that it's just because they're white. I'm saying it's really an adoption of a culture. And so this culture that's been created, anybody can partake in. But it just so happens that a lot of white people do. I wanted to look up Statue of Liberty real quick. Is it a poem? I think. Let me try to find it. See if I can find an image of it on there. This is it right here. This is it. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempt-tossed to me. Tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. That was, I guess, Emma Lazarus. I'm going to say it again. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Emma Lazarus, I don't know who she is, but I'm going to look her up real quick. She's an American author. Emma Lazarus, born July 22nd, 1849. She died November 19th, 1887, was an American author of poetry, prose, and translations, as well as an activist for Jewish and Georgist causes. She is remembered for writing the sonnet, The New Colossus, which was inspired by the Statue of Liberty in 1883. What is a Georgist? Georgism, also called in modern times Geoism, and known historically as the slang tax movement, is an economic ideology holding the people should own the value that they produce themselves, while the economic rent derived from the land, including from all natural resources, the commons, and urban locations, should belong equally to all members of society. Yeah, so developed from the writings of American economist and social reformer Henry George, the Georgist paradigm seeks solutions to social and ecological problems based on principles of land rights, public finance that attempt to integrate economic efficiency with social justice. I'm gonna write this down, y'all. Shit. I didn't want to do it, y'all. Why did I have to look it up? So listen, the Holy Spirit told me to look it up. I'm not lying to y'all today. The Holy Spirit told me to look it up. What's up? All right, what's up, Jahan? What's up, Mika? What's up, Leatherface? What's up, Rena Bina? What's up, Sharon? Leatherface, I'll be bored until you go live. Oh, go live. What's up, Leatherface? What's up, Neat? Prudence, Combat Medic, Silky the Global Man. Yep, they still pushing this anti-white agenda that they are devils, etc., while everyone else is all magically good only, especially in the West. Facts. What's up, Adina King? What's up, Tierra? What's up? Prudence said, "Call me." What's up, Broski Bear? So the Statue of Liberty was some, as we know, some propaganda. It was some socialist, really globalist. Honestly, it's globalism. If you think about it, think about just from a character standpoint. Give me your tired and your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. So basically, this was Emma Lazarus. This is Emma Lazarus. This is some globalist, socialist propaganda. And basically, you see that America was set up for failure. She wrote this back in, 1883? And the plaque was installed in 1903. So we can clearly see that this global agenda has been for America for quite some time. Isn't it funny how all this stuff is just for America? Why? Where's everybody else's Statue of Liberty? Why is America tasked with bringing everybody over here? I thought China was wonderful. I thought Europe was wonderful. Well, they getting it too, but I thought Africa was wonderful. I thought India, these other places where people are magically, as Silky the Global Man said, people are magically good. Where's their Statue of Liberty? Why is America the only one with tasked with saving the world? Make you think, though. But Emma, she was a Jewish activist, and she was a Georgist. So it means she's a social activist, socialist. Again, that's what she was. Israel is supposed to be meeting on Saturday, Israeli government, to vote on this hostage situation in Gaza. Let me get the article. And something struck me as odd. And what struck me as odd is, just want to make sure I got it right. What struck me as odd, let me see, when are they going to meet? Because if they, hold on, let me see. They're supposed to meet on Saturday. Let me see. I wanted to make sure because I was in the gym and I saw someone says they're going to meet on. When they said they're going to meet on Saturday, I just thought it was odd because that's the Sabbath, unless they're going to meet Saturday night. I don't see it in these articles. I think it was on, let me see, Israel agrees to deal. Netanyahu says deal to return hostages from Gaza reached. So they reached a deal. Okay. Israel's offensive has killed over 46,000 people in Gaza, mostly women and children, according to the health ministry. It does not say how many of the dead were militants. Israel says it has killed over 17,000 fighters without providing evidence. And this is obviously biased. This is Arab news. But I'm gonna say this too, though. So when folks talk about Israel, right, and the Jews, the Israeli government, the state of Israel, and Jewish people are technically not the same thing, right? So if I disagree with the Israeli government, it doesn't mean that I'm anti-Semitic. If that makes sense. So I think a lot of times this stuff gets conflated because folks think going against the Israeli government means you're against all Jewish people, and they're not the same. Just like you could be an American and not be with the government. Like a lot of folks weren't with Joe Biden, the Biden administration. So they were against, like if you were attacking the Joe Biden administration, you weren't really attacking America itself. So I want to clarify that. There's a state of Israel, there's Jewish people, and then there's the Israeli government, and then among the Jewish people, there are a plethora of Jewish people. So again, I think we're having conversations. I think it's best that we just be specific. Tierra mentioned Ukraine and Russia. Again, having worked in media, having worked in film, television, nothing you see on TV is on accident. So if they're showing you Israel versus Palestine and they're not showing you Ukraine versus Russia, there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason why they're showing you all the carnage in one war, and the reason they're showing you nothing in the other war. There's a reason. But anyway, today's title is Anti-White versus White Erasure. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on here. You're having a blessed evening. What's up, Agatas? What's up, JV Chanel? What's up, Janan TV? What's up, Miss Donna, Life Coach? What's up, Tish? So let's continue. Let's continue. So we can get some of this anti-white. Just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second.
White people get on podcasts, get on TikTok, and talk about how their children don't bathe or how they don't.
I have a theory about this. This is a way of reinforcing power. By pushing the boundaries and the definition of your power and privilege, you are actually reinforcing that power. And I don't think this is a thing happening on a conscious level, to be clear. Because whiteness is defined in part by purity and by goodness and by rightness, by being the one right way, etc. By saying, I am still pure and clean, whether or not I bathe, is a way of reinforcing that definition and that power. Because then purity and cleanliness are not something that can be obtained outside of your actual being. It is something that is just inherent in your being.
So there's a lot of viral videos going down about white folks saying they don't bathe. And I believe most of them are trolling you all because they know you all are just that silly. I know a bunch of old black folks that don't, most old folks don't bathe every day. Like specifically old black folks don't bathe every day. So it just is what it is. So, you know, I've been around Caucasian and white people and they bathe just like I bathe. I didn't see any difference. You know, when I was younger, I thought that white folks didn't use like a washcloth because the commercials would show them just have the bar of soap, just, you're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean. So I didn't think white people use wash rags and stuff, but, they actually do though. And again, in my life, I've dated white, Greek, and Korean. 2 non-blacks, both of them took baths or showers every day. Like it wasn't like it wasn't just they don't like it just they did. So again, they had great hygiene. But anyway, what she's doing here is she's making you believe that the average white person is thinking this deep. And you'll find this, that the anti-white rhetoric, it puts white people on an intentional level with everything they do. So like, even if somebody knows absolutely nothing, she believes they know that they're reinforcing their power by saying, I don't bathe, but I'm still good and pure and clean. Like, they're not thinking that. If you notice, most people think a lot more about white than actual white people. White people don't think about being white. They don't. Why would they? Just like if you go to Africa, Africans don't think about being black. They don't. Now, white people are forced to think about being white when they come in contact with other groups who tell them, you're white and I'm this. You're oppressing me. That's what makes them think about it. So if you think about it, when this whole thing of whiteness was presented to white people, it was presented negatively. So white folks weren't thinking about being white. They weren't thinking about it. Trust me. All of the separations have come from culture. And nobody wants to acknowledge that. It's cultural. I observe you doing something that I don't like. So guess what? You stay over there, I'll stay over here. White people aren't thinking about being white. This concept of whiteness is something that was created. It's propaganda. It's made up. And it's really just saying whiteness is what? You're just really just saying evil. When you say whiteness, you're saying someone is inherently evil because they can't technically change being white. Oh, that Crystal, what's her name? Crystal Jones. What was it? So what she's doing is intellectualizing something for millions of white people they ain't even thinking about. And then she gets on here and she sounds intelligent, so you believe she's telling the truth because she's not white. And if she was white, you would believe it. If you notice, any negative thing that's said about white people is believed. That's very dangerous. That is very dangerous.
It is saying you cannot take this definition away from me no matter what I do. Now, again, I don't think this happens at a conscious level for the most part, but it is the reason that people of color have to present themselves in a specific way to even approximate what is thought to be inherent to whiteness.
So my question for you all live in the real world. Tell me, who is trying to conform to be like white people? When you all observe non-white people, how many of them are trying to conform to be like white people? How many? How many of them are trying to embrace this whiteness? How many? And what is whiteness when it comes to appearance? Is it khakis and polos, like in topsider shoes? Like what is it? Is it penny loafers and cardigans? Like what is it whiteness when it comes to appearance? What is it? So who do you all see out there trying to present themselves to be in close proximity with white? Nobody. If anything, people are becoming openly anti-white in their appearance. Like I'm gonna do something to myself to make myself so far from the norm. Tattoos on the face, piercings, dyed hair, crazy clothes. Like people are going out of their way to be further from what they consider white. JV Chanel, the Obligatives have taken Carhartt and it's lost its luster. Leatherface and all these blonde weaves. And Katie said, I guess it depends on where you live. I'm just saying, but who is trying to be in close proximity with white? Who? Black people pride themselves for swag and their uniqueness. Like who's trying to be like white? Tierra said, I wake up thinking, how white can I dress today? Now I know we're joking, but this is very serious. Acadia said Indians. So are Indians trying to be white? Because when I observe Indians, they live in an Indian community. They got their same culture. They eat their same foods. How are Indians trying to be white? Most Indians don't interracially date or marry. And they stick with their culture. You go in their house, it smells like curry. Most of them got a mixture, a nice blend of body odor and curry. So how are they trying to be like white people? Either Indian, red dot or feather. These people don't assimilate. They still keep their culture. Most Indians I see drive a Japanese car, Honda or Toyota. So what I'm saying is what she's talking about is basically trying to be white. There is no positive attribute given to white. There's none. You're not going to see anybody on TV say, I'm proud to be white. They'll get canceled. So what I'm saying is that this is dangerous. This is how these are the beginning stages of persecuting a group of people. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The only people I see that have a legitimate claim of being oppressed or targeted or persecuted are white people. And when I say, I mean Christian, conservative, white people. They have a legitimate claim. Nobody else does. Nobody. Except maybe black conservatives. Black conservatives might have a rough go too. But number one on the list is Christian white conservatives and then Christian black conservatives. That's it. Nobody else is getting targeted, oppressed, none of that. Persecuted. But again, when they're talking about whiteness, they're talking about God. They're talking about God. So this anti-white agenda is an anti-God agenda. This is the precursor to the Antichrist. And I'm not telling you all to feel sorry for white people. I'm not telling you all to try to befriend them. I'm not telling you all to butter up to them. I'm telling you that once white people are no longer where they are today, you can kiss this world goodbye. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you, once you look out and you don't see any white people, the end is coming. The end is like there. It's right there. Los Angeles dog walker said, as a white person, we stink, but it all starts in the gut bio. That is hilarious. Oh, that's funny. Let's continue.
So I had to come back to the hotel and take a little breather because I went to a party with my boyfriend who happens to be white. And it was with some of his friends from college, and something that's not talked about enough is being a black woman in like primarily white spaces, because I feel like I am automatically labeled as intimidating, and so people don't want to speak to me and they're like not interested in interacting because they're so fucking scared, which leads me to just feeling like no one wants to hang out with me, which is like very hard. I feel like I've been dealing with that for my whole life essentially, but now that I'm an adult, when I feel that inner child wounding coming.
So you have a young lady, she says being a black girl is hard, and her boyfriend is white, and you can tell she's around a lot of, she's in what they call white spaces. And what black folks don't consider is, just because you are black, I'm gonna play it again so y'all can hear. Let me just play it again so y'all might have missed it. Hold on.
So I had to come back to the hotel and take a little breather because I went to a party with my boyfriend who happens to be white, and it was with some of his friends from college, and something that's not talked about enough is being a black woman in like primarily white spaces, because I feel like I am automatically labeled as intimidating, and so people don't want to speak to me and they're like not interested in interacting because they're so fucking scared, which leads me to just feeling like no one wants to hang out with me, which is like very hard. I feel like I've been dealing with that for my whole life essentially, but now that I'm an adult, when I feel that inner child wounding coming.
Can y'all tell she got one of them hair hats on? The Michelin mess fitted cap. Anyway, so again, now you can tell by the way she's speaking that she is kind of arrogant, obnoxious. I can see her not being a joy to be around. For her to assume that people are afraid of her and intimidated is already, she's just not a good person to be around. Torture to be around, in fact. And so Black folks believe that because they are Black, that they're automatically the life of the party, meaning that Black folks believe that they have a great personality, they're likable, no. You are a human being like everybody else. There are Black folks with a dry sense of humor, no personality, and just plain whack. But she wants people to treat her different because she's Black. What do you want them to do? And so she's saying they're intimidated and afraid of her. And she's been doing this her whole life. And I'm like, to me, it's cap. I know what they told you at home. You was already programmed before you even saw it. Before she saw the first white person, she's already programmed. And so it's not them feeling intimidated or being afraid. They know that you're fake. When you come in the room doing that fake wave and that fake high and just people see all that stuff. They don't like it. What I find interesting is with the way I look, when I go out in public, I don't have these problems. I listen, man, people speak to me, open the door for me. Like, I don't have these problems. Why don't I have these problems? People speak to me all the time, all races, open doors. How you doing? Strike up conversation. Why don't I go through this? Why are y'all going through this stuff white people I don't go through at all? And I'm actually around white people all the time, all day. Thank you, W.A. Banks. She's not comfortable in her own skin. And she's trying to pretend to be something that she's not. She's putting a front on. It's crazy. I don't have these problems. Where are y'all living? Cool Giatti said, white spaces, 1954? Yeah, white spaces. Like, look how you even talking. And again, this is even anti-white. Think about it. Even a person like her who has a white boyfriend who is constantly in these quote-unquote white spaces is still spewing an anti-white agenda because she's saying that white people aren't comfortable with her. They're intimidated by her. It's foolishness. And we should be able to tell by this video who wants to hang with her. Nobody. Can you imagine how she is? Could you imagine? Can you imagine her trying to prove that she was better than white folks her entire life? I'm going to cut the sound off. Just look at her. Just look at her. Come on, man. Could you imagine? Look at her. Now listen, now she's attractive. She look good, but I'm not. She look good, but who want to be around her though? She's full of herself. All that insecurity has built up a false wall. She can't be real no more. Look at this. Treasure Jewel says, ATL is my stomping ground. Everybody loves everybody. In every zip code, we are cool with every race and culture. I miss my ATL peeps. Well, I'm not playing it. I had the sound off, but I was just showing her without the music because the music was annoying. But again, this is still anti-white propaganda because she's saying that white people, even in a white space where it's all white, they're still intimidated by the black woman. It's foolishness. I don't have these problems, and I'm glad. And I'm glad. Let's continue.
A hint of like
Slight racism.
well, it's like, we're in the plane, and I ordered my drink first. She didn't bring it. I asked her a third time. She didn't bring it. Meanwhile, she was bringing drinks literally repeatedly to everyone around me.
Oh wow. How do you know when it's like racist versus circumstantial?
It's the attitude. Like, even when I'm talking to her, she won't like look me in the eye, and she was just kind of like, yeah. Over here at the perfume place, she put her finger out to me. Wait. She said, wait. And then she was like, you want to, yes, I'd love to buy that.
You should have done like Pretty Woman and said, big mistake. Huge. Man, I'm sorry, baby.
Like, it's a part of life.
So here you got this big John Coffey, milk dud head talking about racism. Now, I know when a black person is telling a story, I just assume, get mad all you want, black people, I assume you're lying. So I know in this case, I've been on a plane many a times. I've been out of the country, and I've never had anybody on a plane be rude to me, nor in a business. I've never had a person in a business put their finger in my face, tell me to hold on. I've never had somebody not bring, like I've never had this happen to me. So I'm looking at John Coffey, and I'm thinking, okay, what is he leaving out of this story? Because something's being left out of this story. Now, I already know that he's weak, filled with excuses. Now, he looks like he's a big, strong field hand. He looks like Jack Johnson's cousin. You would think he had, he was tough and he has some grit, some courage, but he's weak. Let's play it again.
No, it's just like a hint of like
Slight racism.
well, it's like, we're in the plane, and I ordered my drink first. She didn't bring it. I asked her a third time. She didn't bring it. Meanwhile, she was bringing drinks literally repeatedly to everyone around me.
Oh wow. How do you know when it's like
So how do you know that you weren't the fifth person that ordered? He's on a plane, right? So he's on a plane expecting to get his drink like he's at the bar. If you're on a plane, sir, and we've been on a plane many a times, people, they take the drink orders. They come down the aisle and they bring back drinks, or they'll make your drink at your seat. But either way, we know if it's on an international flight and they bring you a drink, they're still not going to make each trip back and forth. They're going to take drink orders. So how does he know that he was not the fifth person, the sixth person, the 10th person? How does he know? He doesn't. He's using simple, primitive, nigglet math, and he's saying, well, I ordered my drink, and I ain't got mine, but I look up, and they got theirs. It's racism. Just as simple and slow. Black people lie. They lie.
wow. How do you know when it's like racist versus circumstantial?
It's the
She asked him a very good question. She said, how do you know it's racism versus circumstantial? Now listen to what he's about to say. Listen to what Jack Johnson's cousin is about to say.
attitude. Like, even when I'm talking to her, it's the attitude. Like, even when I'm talking to her, she won't like look me in the eye, and she was just kind of like, yeah.
So he didn't give you again. again, she asked him, how do you know it's racism versus circumstantial? And this man's answer was their attitude. Not systemic issues, not laws, not policies, their attitude. So my question is, what makes him an expert on people's attitudes? How are people supposed to respond to John Henry? How are people supposed to respond to John Coffey? How are people supposed to respond to Jack Johnson? Now, you would assume that this big man, this big, strong man would be a strong man, and he's not. And this woman that's married to this Asian woman, just think about where her mind is and where she is spiritually to where she's attracted. And this is what I mean when I talk about the propaganda of interracial dating. Most interracial couples are liberal. How do we know this? Because, especially when it's black, because most black men are liberal. Most black women are liberal. So 90+% of interracial couples with white and black they're liberals. There's no conservative woman that's going to listen to this man talk and sympathize with him. She's not going to do it.
We're here at the perfume place. She put her finger out to me. Wait. She said, wait. And then she was like, you want to, yes.
How is that racist? Hold on, wait. How is that racist? You hear, this man just said their attitude. Look what he said. I didn't get my drink on time. Their attitude and pointing a finger, that's racism. Do y'all see what racism has been reduced to? Think about it. When we were coming up, racism was, you people hanging from a tree, getting beat with a whip, hit with water hoses, dogs biting them, beat with sticks. That was racism when I was growing up. Now racism is you don't get your drink on time. Somebody has a bad attitude with you. Somebody points their finger at you. Look. So what is it going to be in 20 years? I'll tell you what it's going to be. Because you're white, you're racist. Guilty. This is going to progress into a person just being white is going to be the offense.
I'd love to buy that.
You should have done like Pretty Woman and said, big mistake. Huge. Man, I'm sorry, baby.
Like, it's a part of life.
And then in the end, hold on, he was just crying. He was just complaining. And then in the end, he says, this is a part of life. Like he can just shrug it off. You see, listen, when I tell you the black man is weak, he is disgusting. He is a disgusting creature. He really is. It's just a part of life. Fake seal. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. Ooh, the boy. Fake seal. Kujiati said, be white and comment on a black blog. I dare you. I know that's right. I said, I've been kissed by the rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I see you. I don't know the word. What are the words of that? Hold on. Let me see. What is that? Seal, rose. Seal had one hit. Yeah, what's the lyrics though? Ba-da-ba. 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 There used to be a green tower alone on the sea. That is funny to me. Anyway, man, let me get it. Man, let me stop, man. Let's continue. Now, hey, listen, it is a great song, though. It's a great song. We ain't gonna listen. It was one hit, but that one hit, like, listen. One thing I noticed about music, you can literally eat off of one hit the rest of your life. One hit. Treasure Jewel says, "Is one race the human race?" Exactly. I think it was on Batman Forever. Yes. Right, let's continue.
My name is Captain Jennifer Wilcox. My pronouns are she, her. I am a Caucasian female wearing a black shirt uniform with eyewear and a black hat.
The fire is happening right now. You're like, your neighbor's house is on fire. You're like, what? She's fucking wearing a black hat? Come on. Speed through this. And then the interpreter, who's at everything, he's been busy going crazy. Half the thing he's describing is just the nothing. The scenery. The city burned down because you guys didn't prepare properly. And we're talking about what we're wearing. So like a blind person listening can like, oh, okay. Fire lesbian with a black hat and eyewear.
And this also is anti-white.
My name is Captain Jennifer Wilcox. My pronouns are she, her. I am a Caucasian female wearing a black shirt uniform with eyewear and a black hat.
The fire is happening right now. You're like, your neighbor's house is on fire. You're like, what? She's fucking wearing a black hat? Come on. Speed through this. And then the interpreter, who's at everything, he's been busy going crazy. Half the thing he's describing is just the nothing. The scenery. The city burned down because you guys didn't prepare properly. And we're talking about what we're wearing. So like a blind person listening can like, oh, okay. Fire lesbian with a black hat and eyewear.
So even that is anti-white, because even this LGBTQ thing is to still move further away from white. And so, she said she presented with, the thing about it now, if she's talking about how she looks, why is the first thing she mentions are her pronouns? Because the first thing that people see, let y'all tell it, is the skin color. This is what I've been told. Yeah, skin is the first. I don't know what you identify as. You look like a stud, but I don't know what you identify as. So why wouldn't she say I'm Caucasian? That's the most obvious thing you are. Why are you going with your pronouns? Now keep in mind, Jennifer Wilcox, the irony in the name, but Jennifer Wilcox is a captain with the LA Fire Department. So, the plan for these LGBTQs is they're going to be in every facet of the city governments. Police chiefs, fire chiefs, sheriffs. They're going to be in all of the city council. They're going to be in all of the top positions. And I'm telling you all now, they're not going to play fair. They're not going to be nice. They're not all of a sudden. They're not going to believe in equity or equality. They're going to be out for revenge. They're going to be out for revenge. The goal is for them to take over every city.
My name is Captain Jennifer Wilcox. My pronouns are she, her. I am a Caucasian female wearing a black shirt uniform with eyewear and a black hat.
fire is happening right now. You're like, your neighbor's house is on fire. You're like, what's it? She's fucking wearing a black hat? Come on, speed through this. And then the interpreter, who's at everything, he's been busy going crazy. Half the thing he's describing is just the nothing. The scenery. The city burned down because you guys didn't prepare properly. And we're talking about what we're wearing. So like a blind person listening can like, oh, okay, fire lesbian with a black hat and eyewear.
It's insane. But if you all are noticing, this anti-white agenda / white erasure, you can see this happens. Everybody's participating. It's not just the bliggities. It's everybody participating. Everybody's on board with this because of white representing a standard. Let's continue.
Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave. Disney Plus. Y'all, like, why are y'all Trump supporters? Like, why? Why are y'all Trump supporters? Like, why is this a thing right now? Why is this okay?
You see that nose? You see that septum piercing? When they pierce that septum, it releases about 78 demons. When they pierce that septum, it releases at least 78 demons. I would never in my life, never date a woman that has a pierced septum. Ever. Never. I don't like the way they look, and I know it's demonic.
I can't do this no more. I should have kept my vote to myself because I knew it didn't fucking matter. I knew it didn't.
Most black men are being terrorized at home with a black woman. Most black women are liberal, they're feminist, and they have the Eve spirit. Most black men, they're not going to tell you this, most black men are at home being tortured. They are. That's why the older black men get, you see the life leaving out of their body. They just start looking like a shell of themselves. The only older black men that have life usually are the ones that's still trying to be tricks in the club, tricking off. But let's continue. Let's continue.
Woman is more superior than a white man. She's more superior than a black man, an Asian man, a Hispanic man, all the men.
How is the black woman more superior than the black man if she needs him to survive?
As long as you have Glocks, as long as you have weaponry, we can use our weaponry. We don't need you, brother.
Who built the weapons? Donquisha, we need order real quick. I will dismantle your entire argument because your worldview is flimsy. It's not standing on any truth or any reality. So who created these weapons? Men created these weapons. Your entire life revolves around a man. You got a bandana on your head like a man. You got metal teeth in your mouth like a man would have. You get what I'm saying? Your entire worldview is trying to emulate the man.
I think you're wrong in the house. I think you're wrong.
The black woman is more superior than a white man. She's more superior than a black man, an Asian man, a Hispanic man, all the men.
How is the black woman more superior than the black man if she needs him to survive?
As long as you have Glocks, as long as you have weaponry, we can use our weaponry. We don't need you, brother.
Who built the weapons? Don Quisha, we need order real quick. I will dismantle your entire argument because your worldview is flimsy. It's not standing on any truth or any reality. So who created these weapons? Men created these weapons. Your entire life revolves around a man. You got a bandana on your head like a man. You got metal teeth in your mouth like a man would have. You get what I'm saying? Your entire worldview is trying to emulate the man.
I think you're wrong in the house. I think you're wrong.
Look at the white shoe. Look at the white shoe. So listen, y'all gotta admit, black people can provide an eternity's worth of entertainment. The stuff, if black folks left tomorrow, we still have enough content to last us for the rest of eternity. JV Chanel says she got 3 different hair textures in her hair. She got I was watching this live and I was like, she got to be trolling. She has to be trolling. I'm like, there's no way this woman is, she got to be trolling.
Who created the
Woman is more superior than a white man. She's more superior than a black man, the Asian man, a Hispanic man, all the men.
How is the black woman more superior than the black man if she needs him to survive?
As long as you have Glocks, as long as you have weaponry, we can use our weaponry. We don't need you, brother.
She said, as long as we got weaponry. I'm like, man, what army or platoon are black women a part? What massive mobilization of black women are running around here with guns? Please tell me where they are so I can stay far away from them. Please. I tried to watch this show and I was like, I couldn't tell whether or not she was trolling or if she was serious because she was getting heated at certain times. I'm like, she might be for real because she was getting heated at certain times. He had to mute the mic. I'm gonna give y'all a secret. Black people can only exist if there is some type of conflict with an opposing force. There's no such thing as a black person existing without racism, without oppression, without systemic racism, without all these isms. There's no, so in other words, black people will never not be how they are right now. They'll never wake up because their existence is tied to a false narrative. So in other words, they asked OJ one time, they was like, I don't know what they asked him, but basically he said, I'm not black. Or somebody responded and said, but you're black. He said, I'm not black, I'm OJ. And if you think about it, that was the keys to freedom right there. You're not going to confine me to these, but make no mistake about it. You cannot be black and exist in peace. You have to be going up against some kind of opposing force. There has to be something over you that's oppressing you. You can't just be black and be free, and the two don't go together.
Years in the making, the fire department has warned of dire consequences, saying that they...
Not yet on that one, not yet. Not yet.
Well, it looks like it's time for me to change the battery in my smoke detector. These girls couldn't save you from a heartburn, let alone from a fire. Well, it looks like it's time for me to change the battery in my smoke detector. These girls couldn't save you from a heartburn, let alone from a fire.
So again, even these young ladies dancing in this fire department, this is still anti-white. I'm gonna tell you why. So you have the quarterback in the middle and two offensive linemen. You have their women of color, and two of them are obese. All three of them are women of color, and they're in the fire department or in the fire station, and they're dancing to hip hop music. This whole thing is anti-white because nobody believes in their right mind that if your house is on fire, these three right here are going to save the day. Now, you know, when I used to watch the fire department, they used to have a slide down a pole, climb up ladders. I'm looking at two of the young ladies on this video that can't do either of those things. They maybe can slide down a pole, but it's going to be a huge drop. But imagine these women that are already 250 plus, 280 plus, and then they put on all that gear, which is an extra 50 to 100 pounds, and now they're going to go and save the day? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And again, they want to show you everything except some white men in a fire department coming to the rescue. If my house is burning down, and I see a fire truck pull up and it's filled with people of color, obese, black people, all that, I'm gonna tell them to keep going. I'm just barbecuing. Keep going. I am. Just keep. I'm barbecue. I got it under control. I'm just barbecuing. Y'all keep going. This is ridiculous. And again, they want to get rid of the standard. Los Angeles is woke. So everything is about a virtue. It's not about actually saving lives or fighting crime. It's everything is a symbol. It's a gesture. It's disgusting. Kujiati said, I know great black firefighters. I mean, I do too. You know, I have a family member that was a fire chief. But y'all know what I mean, though. If I see some just coming down the street woke, you know, y'all keep going. You know what I mean. You look at the side of the fire truck, and it's a rainbow flag and a Black Lives Matter flag and a Free Palestine flag. Y'all keep going. Y'all keep going.
Elon's
smart, man.
probably
Very.
one of the smartest people in human history. Like you can't. First of all, he starts PayPal.
Yeah.
You don't even know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he starts PayPal, sells PayPal for $200 million. Most people, you get $200 million, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
He actually goes broke because he invests all of that money not into Tesla, into SpaceX.
Mm-hmm. SpaceX didn't even work out at first. Then Tesla came. Now you guys Tesla. He has SpaceX, which is a private company, but then he has Neuralink, which is a chip that they could put inside your brain. He owns 70% of the satellites in space. So he's a very intelligent person, and he started OpenAI.
He's trying to get that back.
But he's dangerous. He's very dangerous. He's a very dangerous person. And the agenda that he's pushing, like even I was telling you about this DEI thing, it's disturbing. But you say things enough and people just start to believe it, right? And it's like this attack on DEI is just, can we curse?
Yeah, of course.
It's like a political. Because if you think, because there is no DEI, if you think about it, like there's less than 1% of Fortune 500 companies that have black CEOs. There's 7% of people in tech that are black. That's less than half of the black population percentage-wise, right? When you look at the wealth gap, it's as high as it's ever been, right? So where are we seeing? We have 1%, less than 1% of venture capital funds, and we manage less than 1% of money, even though it's been proven that black wealth money managers actually outperform whites, like Robert Smith. So there's no DEI. This whole thing of DEI is just an illusion, but it's really like there's some places in the world where they have permanent underclass, like India, where you can never rise above. And that's just like a caste system. So this whole DEI thing that they're pushing, the reason why it's so dangerous is because if they say this enough, what they're really saying is that no black person is qualified for any job that's not just menial.
We don't want y'all leading.
Right.
Any job that's meaningful is not, you're not qualified for. So if you have a meaningful job, the first thing that they can say is, oh, you only got because you was black.
That's right.
So they don't really want black people to have any level of power, anything at all. And that's something that he's pushing. He's championing that. So why you guys say like, okay, you're the richest person in the world. You put $200 million into a campaign and then you got $200 billion out of it in 6 weeks. You're worth $400 billion. You're going to become a trillionaire in 5 years. So why is it so important for you to push DEI, right?
Yeah.
So now let's dissect. Now this guy right here is a millionaire. He's one of the guys from Earn Your Leisure. I don't know if you all are familiar with these financial guys, but this guy is from Earn Your Leisure. And again, they'll, come to a city near you, charge you a whole bunch of money, and listen to some folks talk about money. Anyway, so what he just said was kind of true and mostly false. Now, Elon Musk is dangerous, but not because of some supposed DEI rhetoric. I don't know what he's talking about. Elon Musk is dangerous because of his influence in technology and what he plans on doing and where he believes the future of this world lies. He believes that AI will be a necessity. He believes that universal basic income will be a necessity. So Elon Musk's future plans are globalist plans. That's why he's dangerous. And of course, the bliggities and nigglets always grab the fruit that's on the ground. They never lift their head and pick the fruit that's from the tree. It's always the not lowest hanging fruit, it's the fruit that's on the ground with bugs eating it, rotting. So the reason why Elon Musk is dangerous is because who he is has been orchestrated. I did videos on this, how he sold a company that wasn't worth anything for hundreds of millions of dollars, then bought this other PayPal, and then it was so it's like you just see, it's just so Elon Musk, I'm sorry to say, I've never trusted him, and I still don't trust him. Folks can get mad, what all they want, I don't trust him. I know what he's about. He said it. But the reason why I don't trust Elon Musk is not for this stupid reason right here. This is ignorance. There is a such thing as DEI. DEI is not another word for the N-word. It's not. DEI is exactly what it is. It's die spelled different. So what black folks like to do is to say, because we have poor outcomes, it's because of racism. Again, another anti-white message. Because we have poor outcomes, it's because of racism. Because folks don't want to watch the WNBA, it's because of racism. Because I can't have a successful business, it's because of racism. Because we aren't represented in these industries, it's because of racism. So that implies that Black people otherwise would be in those industries and they would be successful. So again, it's an anti-white agenda because how he's framing this is that Black people are being denied and kept from something. When we all know that the president of the United States was Black. The vice president was Black. The president currently, Joe Biden, thanked Black people for winning the presidency. So the reason why Black people struggle in the finance area is because financial literacy is not a part of Black culture. Nobody wants to say it. Financial literacy is not a part of Black culture. Black culture says, ball till you fall. Black culture says, get rich or die trying. Black culture says, if it's up, then it's stuck. That's Black culture. Nowhere in Black culture does it says, plan for the future. Nowhere in Black culture does it says, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Nowhere in Black culture does it says, diversify your funds. Nowhere in Black culture does it say, invest. This is nowhere in Black culture. So the reason why Black folks struggle financially, it's not because they aren't making money. It's because the culture says, once you get it, go ahead and spend it. That's why Black folks struggle. Because Black folks have a poor financial culture. We just heard the Amistad dude talking about he broke, racism. I'm going to pull him up pretty soon. The reason why it's hard to accumulate Black wealth is because only 30% and declining of Black people are married. How are you going to build wealth as a single person in America? Explain it to me. When everybody else has built wealth through family. Nobody told you all to stop getting married. Nobody told you all to listen to the government. Nobody. You chose that. So the reason why you all can't build wealth is because you don't get married. You heard the old saying, 2 heads are better than one. And Black culture said, if you see 2 heads, shoot both of them. Again, your culture betrays you, not white people. White folks are not telling you all to not invest your money. There are all kinds of commercials on TV and on the internet of you all investing. I see them all the time on YouTube and TV about you all investing your money. You refuse to do it. About you all being financially savvy with your money. You refuse to do it. There's never been a message for you all to not save and invest your money. You all chose to be decadent because your culture says you're Black and it's okay. So if you look at the wealth gap, it mirrors the marriage gap. 58% of Black people that are 18 or over own a home. 58% of Black people that are 18 years or older own a home. Black folks are approaching almost $2 trillion spending a year. Don't tell me y'all ain't got the money. Y'all have the money. But the problem is your culture. Your culture betrays you. And it's sad to say. It's sad to say this. But you would be better off not listening to Black people at all. I'm just be honest with you. Because what you're going to get is folks to come on a platform and give you a scenario that offers no hope. All these black folks get on these platforms, and the solution is what? How are you going to solve this problem? The solution is to go to the government. Every black person's solution is always going to end with the government. But we got to come together. We got to unite. We got to start our own business. And they're going to talk about the government. Talking to one young lady, and she has some sense. And my boy says, man, I'm tired of black people. Tired of black church. Tired. Getting on my nerves. And she said, do you hate black people? He said, no, I'm just tired of them. She said, well, you don't understand that we've been doing this for 100-some years. We was in slavery. We've been conditioned and programmed to be this way. They made us this way. Well, my question for all the black women out there, if the white man made y'all this way, then why are y'all so critical of black men? If the white man made the black man the way he is, then why are y'all critical? When the black man is cheating on you, why don't you just say the white man made him like that? When the black man don't want to pay for the first date, why don't y'all say the white man made him like that? When the black man wants to have you the child but don't want to take care of him, why don't y'all say the white man made him like that? Dear black women, why don't y'all blame the white man when it comes to the poor character of black men? Why all of a sudden when it comes to black men, it ain't the white man's fault no more, now it's the black man's fault? Make it make sense for me. Is the black man not conditioned? Is the black man not programmed? Did the black man not come from slavery? So I can argue that the way the black man is behaving is because of slavery. So why don't he get a pass? Why doesn't the black man get a pass? Oh, okay. Because it's capped, that's why. And y'all know it's capped.
Have 1%, less than 1% of venture capital funds, and we manage less than 1% of money, even though it's been proven that black wealth money managers actually outperform whites, like Robert Smith.
Show me the study that says black wealth management outperforms white. Show me. He brought up Robert Smith, one person. Show me. Outperforms? Outperforms? He said outperforms. He said outperforms. Show me. Show me the study. Black people lie. Anybody white listening, if you ever listen to somebody black talking and you can't tell whether it's true or not, just email me or DM me and I'll tell you. Blanche, this black guy said that y'all been to the moon before. Is that true? And I'll say, well, you know it's not y'all, right? You know I'm not black. Oh, yeah, my bad. But they said that black folks been to the moon. Is that true? No, that's not true. Black folks most of them ain't left their neighborhood. Next question. Black folks lie.
So there's no DEI. This whole thing of DEI is just an illusion, but it's really like there's some places in the world where they have permanent underclass, like India, where you can never rise above. And that's just like a caste system.
Yep.
I want you to think about something right now. And this is why it's really disgusting. And you know what? I'm going to say this to my women. I wrestle every day. Who I want to focus? I want to focus on the men or the women. I kind of struggle, I'm going to say this right now. In my past 5 years of doing this, I've observed a side of black men I never knew existed. even though I knew it existed because I grew up around them. I'm going to have to spend 2025 on these black men. I have to. Y'all ain't getting a pass, but I'm going to spend 2025 on these black men because what these black men have done is akin to genocide, because what they've done is they've lied, they've cheated, and they've stolen, and they've blamed the white man for it. But it's been them the entire time. It's been them the entire time. This man just compared black people in America to the caste system in India. Do you know how disgustingly disingenuous that is? Do you know how disgustingly disingenuous that is? In no way, shape, nor form are black people a part of any type of caste system at all. Black people are represented in every facet of society, from the presidency all the way down to homeless. In fact, black people brag about what they've done in this country. From we've built the country, we're doctors, we're lawyers, we're black people brag about how much they aren't in a caste system. Go to India and tell me, matter of fact, I'm not, you know what? Black men, y'all finna get it. Y'all about to get it. Black men gonna get it. Enough's enough. Enough's enough. It's too much. It's too much. Enough is enough. Now, the Dalits, so there are two classes that black folks could be a part of in this equation. That is the Shudras, the laborers, and the Dalits, the outcasts, street sweepers and latrine cleaners. So let's just say that black people are supposed to represent these two lowest castes in India. If that's the case, then how is this guy on the Breakfast Club as a millionaire mad and complaining about Elon Musk? This guy's a millionaire, earn your leisure. He gets paid to put on events and invite people to talk about money as he ranks in. These folks are charging $25,000 to $5,000 a head, and maybe even more than that. These folks are charging all these black folks all this money to learn about finances. If you cared about black folks so much, do it for free. Since black folks are in a caste system and so oppressed, do it for free. Why doesn't Earn Your Leisure provide their services for free if black folks are oppressed? Why are you charging oppressed people thousands of dollars to listen to you all talk about money? You're saying that black folks are impoverished and don't have money, but you're charging them exorbitant amounts of money to attend your events. Just make it make sense. Are you building community centers for these so-called black people? Are you bringing food to the food deserts? Are you helping the black homeless? Are you educating black? Like, what are y'all doing? If black folks are in the caste system, then what are y'all doing? If black folks are in the caste system, then how are you a millionaire? Because your clients are 99% black. So if black folks are in the caste system and they're giving you money to learn about finances, then what makes you different than the pastors of the mega churches? We love talking about the churches, but not these folks. What's the difference? What's the difference from when you all say that the mega pastor churches are fleecing and finessing the poor people? And what are y'all doing? Y'all are telling people they can get rich, just give me $5,000. So my question is, caramel milk dud head, earn your leisure guy, if you care about black folks so much, and if black folks are in the caste system, then why don't you put your events on for free? Why don't you give black folks the head start they never got in this racist country? That's what I thought. Because you're a crook like the rest of them. All you have to do is listen to these black men talk and then go look at their actions. And I guarantee it won't line up. Listen to a black man talking on TV and go look at his life, and I guarantee it does not line up.
So this whole DEI thing that they're pushing, the reason why it's so dangerous is because if they say this enough, what they're really saying is that no black person is qualified for any job that's not just menial.
We don't want y'all leading. Yeah, right.
Any job that's meaningful is not, you're not qualified for. So if you have a meaningful job, the first thing that they can say is, oh, you only got because you're black.
That's right.
So they don't.
The problem is, and he has a book and it says, you deserve to be rich. The title of that book is already from a false premise. You don't deserve anything. The title of his book, You Deserve to Be Rich, is already a false entitled premise. You don't deserve anything. You deserve what you've earned. So you don't deserve to be rich. The Bible says a diligent hand maketh rich. The Bible says that God added riches without sorrow. But nowhere in the Bible does it say you deserve to be rich. So again, it's not the fact that black people don't deserve to be in meaningful positions. The problem is that when black folks get in said meaningful position, what do they do? When black folks get in said meaningful positions, what do they do? We just saw Karen Bass, and they lied and said that she's getting criticized like Gavin Newsom hasn't been. They're making you believe that Karen Bass is getting criticized, but Gavin Newsom isn't. They've been on Gavin Newsom's head for years. They just got on Karen Bass, legitimately.
Really want black people to have any level of power, anything at all. And that's something that he's pushing. He's championing that. So why you guys say like, okay, you're the richest person in the world. You put $200 million into a campaign and then you got $200 billion out of it in 6 weeks. You're worth $400 billion. You're going to become a trillionaire in 5 years. So why is it so important for you to push DEI? Right?
Yeah.
Imagine a grown man beg, because really this is called, they got a term called dry snitching. This is dry begging. Imagine this grown man, what he's really saying is, Elon, why you picking on us, man? You rich, man. Leave us alone. Stall us out, Debo. Well, Elon Musk, stall us out, Elon. He got this grown man who would have his chest poked out with any other black man. But look how soft and subservient he is talking about Elon. Come on, Elon. Stall us out, man. My grandma gave me this chain, man. Elon, stop picking on us, man. Stop talking about DEI, man. Come on, we tried, man, please. The black man is weak. He's weak. I don't care if he's homeless or he's a billionaire. He's weak. His makeup is not of a man. It's not. He's a child in a man's body. Why are you doing it? You're going to be a trillionaire, man. Just stall us out. Come on, Elo. What you say, Lou? How much money y'all get? Shoot, we made $400 million. Deal with Elon. I made $400 million. What? We made $400 million. I made $400 million. Huh? Yeah. Leatherface, my best pickup line is the black man is weak. Their eyes light up. Listen. Now listen, the black man is weak. It'll get you a sister, trust me. It'll get you a sister. She's like, what you mean? You start explaining it to her, she gonna melt like putty. Tell her, listen, sister, the black man has done you wrong. He hasn't been your protector. He's been blaming the white man this whole time, and he forgot about you. He's made this whole thing about the white man and not protecting his queen. Oh, they finished. They finished. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a gyro, it's a burrito, taquito, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Let's go to a I want to go to a
pretty much knew that he was responsible for his demise at Motown. After.
So this is my last story, last video of tonight. So I got to get to bed. I do too. But thank you, Tommy Radcliffe. Maybe she just didn't like you, pal. That shirt is. Who are you talking about? Maybe she just didn't like you, pal. Who are you talking about? Maybe she just didn't like you. I haven't got the video, but thank you, Tommy. I appreciate it. Thank you. Cruise Missile, thank you so much, sir. I was always supporting. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. Tommy Radcliffe, we shoot straight through honey. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool. Thank you, Tommy. We shoot straight through honey. I like it. I don't know what it means, but I like it. Jackhammer 23. What kind of weaponry cleans water or maintains any industrial infrastructure? Right, Jackhammer. Right. Thank you so much, but right. She talking foolish. So, oh, green t-shirt drunk guy. Okay. Yeah, I got you. I got your time. Maybe she, okay, I got you. Yeah. Yeah, maybe she just don't like you. Yeah. So here goes. Now I want you to. Here's a story about Rick James. Now, they tell you about racism. They tell you about all this stuff. What they won't tell you is the truth. Now, here goes Rick James. Now let's see how Rick James handled his career. Now, you know, Rick James was the biggest thing on the planet at one time, right? Okay, so let's see how Rick James handled his success. Let's see if the white man hindered Rick James from being successful.
Rick pretty much knew that he was responsible for his demise at Motown. After the Throwing Down record, He had come off a tour. On the Super Freak tour, we made 40 million bucks. On the Throwing Down tour, he only made 13 million bucks because.
Now I want you to think about how big Rick James was. I want you to think about how big Rick James was. I'm just trying to get I want to give you an accurate date of the Super Freak tour. I just want to give you an actual timeline. Oh, they got a whole play set up. They got a whole. No, I need the actual. No, they got it. That's a play. Hold up. Let me see. Rick James. I want to say, I know it was early 80s. I just want to get the tour date so I can let you know how big he was. Now, they said he made 40 million. He made 40 million. Here we go. Following the end of the tour in 1980, James released the ballads-heavy Garden of Love, which was a relative flop, only reaching number 83 on the Billboard 200. In 1981, James recorded his best-selling album to date, Street Songs, which, like his previous 4 albums, was a concept album. Street Songs featured a fusion mix of different genres, including rock and new wave, as well as James' brand of crossover funk, enabling James' own style of punk funk. The album featured hit singles such as Ghetto Love, Tina Marie duet, Fire and Desire, Fire and Desire, Give It To Me Baby, Give It To Me Baby, and his biggest crossover hit to date, Super Freak, which peaked at number 16 on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold over 1 million copies in the United States. Street Songs peaked at number 1 on number 1 R&B and number 3 pop and sold over 4 million copies worldwide. Following that success, James released 2 successive gold certified albums, 1982's Throwing Down, 1983's Cold Blooded. So that tour came in the 1980, 82, 81, 82. So in 1982, let's say, Rick James made $40 million on tour. Do you know how much money that was in 1982? Let me see. What is 40 million? What is 40 million 1982 worth today? $40 million in 1982, as of last year, was worth $130,530,000. So the equivalent. Now think about somebody making $130 million on tour today. That is a huge artist, right? He made that back in 1982 off a tour. So I'm just letting you know how successful Rick James was in racist America. So let's restart it.
Much knew that he was responsible for his demise at Motown. After the Throwing Down record, he had come off a tour. On the Super Freak tour, we made 40 million bucks. On the Throwing Down tour, he only made 13 million bucks because the record didn't do as well as Street Songs. When he was delivering his record to Motown, I was with him. We went into Jay Lasker's office.
Now think about you having a smash hit, you going on tour, and then you immediately start recording a new album. You don't have the energy to make a new album. it would take you a year to recover from the first album and tour. He went right into recording again because guess what? He wanted that money. Any sensible artist would say, let me recharge. I just came off a smash album. I just sold 4 million copies. I made 40 million on tour. Let this thing breathe a little bit. Then I'll come back. Let me give it about a year and then I'll come back. But no, he saw that 40 million and he wanted to run it right back. He should have waited. He was money hungry. That wasn't artistry. You don't even have the energy to record no album after doing that for that first Street Songs album. He wanted the money. JV Chanel said the coke was pure back then. It was. Listen, you got to think that 40 million, Rick James was getting that Peruvian powder, that Colombian white. It wasn't stepped on. It wasn't tripped over. It wasn't kicked. He was getting that pure, 100% pure coca. You walk in the room and get high. That's how pure the coke was back then. You step in the room, you get high. You know how you touch fentanyl, you die? You step in the room, you immediately high. But James had that good stuff. That's right, Pat. That's right, Neek. Fresh off the boat. It ain't been touched. You know that. You get it, you good.
We made 40 million bucks. On the Throwing Down tour, he only made 13 million bucks because the record didn't do as well as Street Songs. When he was delivering his record to Motown, I was with him. We went into Jay Lasker's office. Now, Jay Lasker was the president of Motown. The way that it was is that he would turn in a tape and he would get a check for $1 million.
Now, you see Rick James? What do y'all see in this picture? What do y'all see in this picture? Is he on this man's lap? Now you see the guy throwing these devil horns up. And what's Rick James? He on his lap? What's Rick James doing? What is Rick James doing? She said the white man, well, he the Jewish man, but what is Rick, of course, what is Rick James doing on this man's lap? He threw up the devil signs. I'm just saying, y'all see it. I ain't making it up. Let me just start over real quick. Let me start over.
Rick pretty much knew that he was responsible for his demise at Motown. After the Throwing Down record, he had come off a tour. On the Super Freak tour, we made 40 million bucks. On the Throwing Down tour, he only made 13 million bucks because the record didn't do as well as Street Songs. When he was delivering his record to Motown, I was with him. We went into Jay Lasker's office. Now, Jay Lasker was the president of Motown. The way that it was is that he would turn in a tape and he would get a check for $1 million. He says, here's your tapes. As he gets his $1 million, he grabs the $1 million. He said, you know what? I don't give a fuck about $1 million. He said, sell my goddamn record. And Jay was like, dude. He said, no, you sell my motherfucking record. Because the fact of the matter is I made $40 million on tour with Street Songs and I only made $13 million. I don't give a fuck about this $1 million. Sell my motherfucking record so I can make some motherfucking money. And then Rick pulls out cocaine, puts it on the desk, chops it up, snorts it in front of Jay Lasker, and Jay Lasker is sitting back there. I'm sitting next to Rick, and I'm like, oh shit, right? And then Rick snorts it, jumps on Jay Lasker's desk, puts his dick in front of my goddamn record. He takes the check and he walks out of Jay Lasker's office. And then Jay Lasker says to me, Lionel Richie. And that was it. He was done with Rick, and his focus went on Lionel Richie, and that's the reason that Lionel Richie got all of this incredible, amazing push.
So, because his album didn't do well, he got mad at the president of Motown, He pulls out. Now the guys gave him a check for $1 million. Rick James handed him some tapes. The guy gave him a check for $1 million. And Rick James is upset. He pulls out some cocaine, snorts it on his desk, jumps up on the desk, pulls out his anatomy in the man's face, and basically tells the man to get him his money. You see, this is what they'll tell you about how black folks act when they get a little bit of something. When they get a little bit of something. Everybody's saying that sounds like that's Rick. Everybody's saying that sounds like Rick. So we know that it wasn't the white man when it came to Rick. Rick was foolish. Rick was foolish. Imagine how non-racist America has to be for you to jump up on the president of Motown's desk, who is a Jewish man, and you put your penis in his face and demand more money after he just wrote you a check for $1 million. You don't have that kind of gall when you're oppressed. You don't have that kind of nerve when you're oppressed. You just don't. That's not an oppressive way to behave. That's not very caste system like. And this is in the 80s. Anyway, y'all, we're gonna do part 2 on Saturday. JV Chanel said David Ruffin too. Nicodemus said, did the RCA president like it? Well, it was Motown president. Well, apparently he didn't like it because he said we're going to rely on Richie next. We're going to rely on Richie next. Anyway, I love y'all. Thank you, Angel Wings, for moderating. Thank you so much. Love you so much. Thank you. Guys, Navi, thank you for moderating. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. We'll be back on Saturday. Want you to have a blessed evening and take care. What's up, Mad Sketch? I love y'all and I'll see y'all soon. Thank you.